Okay, good morning.
Morning,
Good
morning.
morning, good morning. Thank you so much for inviting us here. As you heard in the bios, we do are involved in a lot of things. So asking us to speak to this morning on serving in Guyana, it gave us a chance, an opportunity to really sit down and reflect, because we went to Guyana in October of 2013, believe it or not. It's been that long. So we had an opportunity to pull out our notes, what we could find. And interestingly enough, I didn't find a lot, but one of the things I found was an email that I had shared with someone else while we were in Guyana. Yes, I keep emails. But what it did say that this trip was life-changing, and it was life-changing. It certainly was a milestone in my life, especially. And it was a milestone in my life. As you hear, my pastor, my husband, he's been pastoring for 40 years. But because we are both widows, we've lost our first spouses, we are a blending family. So we've only been married for 13 years. And I add that because that tells us a little bit about why this is such a milestone. When we went to Guyana, we had only been married for 4 years. Yes, blending a family. I had only accepted my call into ministry for 2 years. So here, after 2 years, I have this opportunity to travel with Victory International to Guyana. And of course, it was educational, because of all the places I wanted to go, I never dreamed of going to South America or Guyana or experiencing this. So it was a milestone from that standpoint. It was a milestone for me as a new minister. It was a milestone also for working together with this very seasoned pastor that I am now get a chance to walk beside and work with. It was really one of our first opportunities to really sit down and plan something together. So it was a milestone there. But it also was a milestone when we talk about carrying out the Great Commission. This really gave us and gave me the opportunity to go ye therefore, a new understanding of going out of what I was used to. And then it helped me to see how important it was to go beyond the culture, going about beyond what I was used to, going along beyond my little circle, because I was born in a small rural area on a tobacco field. So being able to now go beyond all of that and to serve and learn about the culture was a great milestone. So thank you for inviting us. Thank you, Mark, for taking us. And thank you for letting us share a little bit about how important this was. And I will take a note before Enoch speaks. We were not Rotarians when we went to Guyana in 2013. We were not Rotarians, okay? So just keep that in mind.
And it was a milestone for me too. I mean, I had done missionary work in Africa and in several countries in Africa, but I hadn't done anything on the South American continent. And going to Guyana was just an exciting time. And so let me just kind of sum up what it was. It was a mission. Our mission was was first of all to spread the gospel through an evangelistic effort, training pastors. And when we got to the Guyana, we met a group of pastors who were enthusiastic for us to lead them, and it was a real privilege for us to do that, because everywhere we went, we found enthusiastic people, and people who were enthusiastic for the gospel as well as training. And we had a wonderful period there. I don't remember how many days did we stay. However many days we stayed,
1 week.
It was beautiful, and the people received us. I mean, everything that we did, the people were enthusiastic. In fact, one of the occasions that we had was at the television station, we did an interview of our programming. And when the interview was over, we thought that it had gone really well. But when we left Guyana and got in the airport in Miami, a fella came over and asked me, wasn't I the one that he had seen on television in Guyana? So I thought that was pretty awesome. I guess I'm so big or something that I stand out. So anyhow, the program in Guyana was awesome. We got to Guyana and start having our training sessions. Uh, we had a session for the ladies, and Marion, you might want to tell them about the ladies session.
Yes. So I talked about what a new opportunity this was. So I had the opportunity of working with the ladies. And of course, I was very apprehensive. I was very nervous. What was I going to talk about? And what did I know? I'm new in ministry and all of those questions. But the focus was that I tried to do was talking about leadership, women leadership, and the highlights of what a Christian woman looks like, and the highlights of how important women are in the community and in the churches. And I had kind of a workshop type thing, and I was just amazed at how receptive the ladies were. And I was concerned because I had done some traveling because I was a trainer. And, we had so many things that we were required to do as a trainer and how to hold attention and all those things. And I didn't feel like I had done a good job. But those ladies were so receptive to my very crude resources that I used, talking, worksheets. I actually did worksheets, and we don't do worksheets anymore, but I actually do worksheets. And they valued education. They valued learning, and they just soaked up every word, and everybody wanted a worksheet. We're in America. What do the people usually do with the worksheets? They throw them away somewhere. But they really valued their information. So that kind of helped me, and it made me comfortable. And then we could just have some dialogue with the ladies and how impressive they were about learning, how impressive they were about their families and what their roles were.
And Mark and I had the men to deal with the men, and basically I dealt with homiletics and the art of preaching and leadership. And those men were thirsty for it. I think we had about, Mark, I don't remember exactly how many, but it was over 50 or 60 men at that seminar that we had. And they were tuned in and thirsty for knowledge. And we were glad to give them all that we had. And it ain't that much, but we gave it all to them. Amen. And we talked about the fundamentals of leadership, and that went very well. Mark did a tremendous job too in Guyana. And in fact, Mark was a celebrity in Guyana. Everywhere we went, Mark was known, and we even went to the Prime Minister's house in Guyana, who's also a cousin of Mark. So I think about everybody in Guyana is a first or second cousin to Mark. Yeah, amen. And one of our really eventful happenings was we took one evening to go to the Tiger waterfall, and the Tiger waterfall is the tallest waterfall in the world, I believe. And anyhow, on the trip, Tiger is in the middle of the jungle, It's in the middle of the jungle. And we took a small airplane, about 4 or 5 people could get in the airplane. And we took the trip, and it was a 1-hour trip. And we got about halfway of that trip, and a terrible thunderstorm came up. And that plane started dipping and diving and stuff. And I looked, Marion was sitting beside me, and I looked at her, and she's a religious woman, but I think she got renewed even then.
That was another milestone. Since he brought that up, I wasn't going to share that one, but after that, when I shared the story, I said, if I were not saved and a believer, I got saved on that plane because it was the storm, and we couldn't see. And the big thing about that was the pilot, and I mean, I couldn't see. And when things cleared, he goes, phew. So that let me know what danger we were in. And I confessed and just renewed my faith right there on that plane. So that was another milestone for me.
And also the other ministry that we did, we brought along with us goods, eyeglasses, and we had Mark had started a barrel ministry, and I don't know, in your churches you may have a barrel, but we had a barrel where we kept things that we didn't use, like old medicine and eyeglasses, and we gave out eyeglasses. I think probably we had 100 pair of eyeglasses that we gave those people. Now, my wife and said that we shouldn't be giving those eyeglasses out, and because they don't have the prescriptions, but those people have nothing. They have nothing. And when they got those glasses, you should have seen them. They came in and they were lined up to get those eyeglasses. And some of the people who came in there, you could barely see. And they would go through that crate of glasses and find them a pair of glasses. And you talk about somebody celebrating, I can see. And so, Mark, that is a great ministry. Help me, Holy Ghost.
And that was also another opportunity that I had when we were there and kind of distributing the glasses and toiletries and those little things that we take for granted. And that's when I had really the opportunity, because this was after the presentation, I had an opportunity to really have conversation with the women. And they were so appreciative and welcoming. Also, their hospitality was just wonderful. I felt right at home, and we would discuss things and have dialogues, and they would talk about some of their concerns and how important some of the toiletries were that we had brought. And that's another thing when we back up. So not only were we involved, when we gave other people the opportunity to buy toiletries and do that involved our church, so they could understand and get a bigger picture of what this service was all about. So that was very encouraging, to be able to have dialogues and conversations as you're serving, as you're handing out. You're not just handing out things, but you are talking, getting to know the people and encouraging the people.
Amen. So well, we don't want to talk all the time. Perhaps there are some questions.
Okay, I'm going to talk about one more thing.
One more thing.
Okay. He talked about our visiting the prime minister, and another thing that
well, she had the opportunity to pray for the prime minister. What did you take?
Sorry. Welcome to our home. Seeing, and he talked about, Mark and his influence and a celebrity. But from that, I gathered the importance of faith and Christianity in the government. That's what I came away. It was very impressive, because so much in America, there's a separation in your faith and that, but being there and to see these leaders and how they serve, and they invited us. They were happy that we were there. And yes, I had an opportunity to pray. Oh my goodness. And that helped me to understand the importance of prayer, the importance of one's faith, and how it was honored and respected, and just gave me a different feeling about the importance of one's belief in just everything that we do. And that connection.
Amen. Amen.
Okay. And overall service. So here we've been to Guyana now, and we understand I have actually been able to go and serve and get just a little taste of what service is all about. So that is that connection now that we have with Rotary, service above self. And so that's what Rotary is all about, but giving everybody that opportunity to focus and to be servants. And that's it.
Okay, great. So we have